Hi everyone, I'm Allie Raymond. Today I wanted to talk to you about worrying about OCD as a theme. When you start to do recovery work, a lot of the times I see this so much. I would say I see this in 75% of cases. The fact that this could happen to you at a later stage of OCD recovery is very likely. So, if you're even don't know anything about this doesn't apply to you now, please listen anyway because it might apply in the future. So if you start to think, what if I never recover? Or what if I'm doing something wrong and I won't recover because I'm doing something wrong? Or uh, what if my method of recovery is not entirely correct? Right? I'm not saying like my method. I'm saying you're thinking that the way you're recovering is not entirely correct. Or you could be thinking about what my method is not entirely correct, whatever. Right? But you're second guessing everything you do. You're worrying about everything you do as it relates to OCD recovery. And you have to understand that that in itself is a theme. Now, the way you deal with this theme, the way you overcome this theme is treat it the same as anything else. As if you would have had contamination OCD, you have to reduce the amount of compulsions you're doing. If you have, say, I don't know, relationship OCD, you're reducing rumination, right? So with this, you're reducing rumination. If you're listening to videos online, for example, ask yourself, what is the purpose of me listening? Is it to understand more about the recovery? But this understanding comes with fear. I feel like I need to understand more or I will not recover. Or I need to Google more or I will not recover. Or I need to go to different specialists or I will not know all the information and I won't recover. Or today I had a bad setback and that means I will never recover because I took a step back, right? So if you are having those kinds of thoughts, right away, it's OCD. It doesn't matter that it's OCD about OCD. It's still OCD. It's still an OCD theme, just like any other theme. And you're just saying, nope, doesn't matter. I'm not doing this. Don't let the fact that it's about OCD itself scare you or kind of bully you into reaction. No, you don't need any more information. You just need to disregard and keep going on with your day. And when you do disregard, again, the common question I get, I kind of mentioned this in a lot of videos because I find that people ask me this over and over again, that when you disregard, the thoughts don't go away. When you disregard, you're training your brain that over time the thoughts will go away, not right when you're choosing to disregard. So you're saying, no, I'm not buying it, and the brain is still screaming at you, and you're like, I'm going on with my day, and your brain is still screaming at you as you are going on with your day. And that's okay. That's normal. That's how OCD recovery goes. That's how you have to go through it. And you will go through it and you will come out on the other side just fine. I promise you. So again, if this is thoughts about OCD recovery, but you see that they're starting to become constant, they're becoming obsessive, it feels like there's never enough, it feels like there's another what if or another maybe or another fear and fear of the future, and you're digging a lot, whether physically, again, Googling, or just ruminating. Don't you don't need to be thinking about the recovery process. Recovery process is not something you need to give a lot of thought. It's a process of action. You're showing your brain in action that you are no longer buying into OCD. So you're living life as if you would live it when you're over OCD all day. Like I said in other videos, if the FBI came to your door and they tried to find OCD, they wouldn't be able to find it anywhere, any traces of it. So you look the part, you act the part, everything. That's how you have to be. And even with that, if you start to second guess, well, am I being not OCD enough? Right? Then it like spins it that way. Again, that's an OCD question. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to reply to it. You just leave it and let it scream in one side of your brain, and you're just going through your day to the best of your ability. It will not be perfect. And again, you will have setbacks. They don't mean anything. Everybody has setbacks from time to time as they're going through recovery. If most of your progress is forward, even if it's just tiny, tiny steps forward, then that's fine. You will still get from point A, which is where you started, to point B, which is zero time ruminating, zero compulsions. at some point. It just depends on the stretch of time. The faster you're going, the faster you recover. The slower you're going, well, it's going to be slow, but oh well, you're still going to get there. Which is very different from before when you didn't know how OCD worked and all of this kind of stuff. So don't let it scare you. Don't let it bully you. About OCD is, again, I see this in 75% of the cases, most of the time when the person starts to do active recovery work, because towards, I would say, middle or the end of the recovery, because at that point, the recovery becomes very important to the person. And then, of course, OCD grabs onto it and kind of flips it. So look at it as it's OCD, I'm disregarding. I hope you find my videos helpful. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you would like to do the recovery program with me, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. You can sign up from there. You can book the appointment from there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.